Hello everyone, welcoming you to Shorup's classes. So today we are looking at the IIFT Economics MSc Economics Entrance Exam Paper 2019, and we are looking at question number 33. So suppose AL1 is equals to 5, AK1 equals to 6, AL2 is equals to 1, and AK2 equals to 4, where AIG denotes the ith factor required to produce 1 units of commodity J. So this is basically the factor coefficients. So the question is, which good 1 or good 2 is relatively labor intensive? So hopefully you remember the definition of like what is relatively labor intensive. To check for relatively labor intensiveness, we will compare the labor to capital ratio for both the goods. That means we'll basically be computing this thing, AL1 by AK1 and AL2 by AK2. The one which is greater will be labor intensive. So if you just put down the figures, you'll see AL1 is 5, AK1 is 6, and this over here is AL2 is 1 and AK2 is 4. So obviously your this is greater. We can clearly understand that. That means good 1 is more labor intensive. So clearly it is option number A. So question number 33, your option is option number A. Alright, so moving on to question number 34 of the IIFT MS Economics 2019 paper. Suppose AL1 equals to 5, AL2 equals to 1, A star L1 equals to 10, and A star L2 equals to 6, where Aij is the amount of the ith factor required to produce 1 unit of commodity J, and star denotes the foreign country. Then which of the following is true? Now, obviously, one thing that we can easily, rather assume in this question is that since we are only given the labor coefficients for the two goods in the two countries, so labor is the only factor of production. We can easily assume that one. There is not a problem in this. That means we are basically in the Smith-Ricardo kind of a framework where labor is the only factor of production. So let me just write that down in brief. So we are basically talking of the Smith-Ricardo framework, and labor is the only factor of production. Okay, so if you look at the home country, which is home, then what is the total amount of labor that will be available? Both the countries produce both the goods, good 1 and good 2. So the production possibility frontier for the home country will be looking something like this: AL1 into X1 plus AL2 into X2 is less than equals to, say, L0 is the endowment of labor. And similarly for the foreign country, we are going to have this expression in this way: A star L1 times X1 plus A star L2 times X2 less than equals to L0, right? So these are the basically the two equations which will constitute the production possibility frontier. So let us first compute the slope of these two production possibility frontier with equality. So let's start with the home first. So AL1 dx1 plus AL2 dx2 is equals to 0. So dx2 by dx1 for the home country is equals to minus of AL1 divided by AL2. Okay, so if you just take the absolute value, then it is this. And similarly for the foreign country, it will be a similar expression: A star L1 times X1 plus, sorry, dx1, A star L2 times dx2 is equals to 0. So the absolute value dx2 by dx1 for the foreign country will be A star L1 divided by A star L2. So now if you look at the figures that are given in the question, AL1 is 5, AL2 is 1. So that becomes 5 by 1, which is 5. And the second one, A star L1 is 10 and A star L2 is 6. So that is 10 by 6, which is 5 by 3. So obviously the home country is steeper. The PPF of the home country is steeper. So if we just draw a diagram, then we can easily communicate that. So this will be something like the home PPF, and this will be something like the foreign PPF. So this is the home and this is the foreign. We have x1 over here, x2 over here, and 0. Okay. So now, just to recap a few crucial things directly from the Smith-Ricardo framework, the slope of the PPS basically represented the autarky prices. That means the home relative autarky price is PD and the foreign autarky PD relative price is PF. And you remember that since the autarky prices differ, there is incentive for trade, and we know that if P star represents the international relative price, P star is the international relative price. So your it will lie between PD and PF. So PF is lesser, so it will be basically PF less than P star less than PD. So we construct the line in this fashion. So this is the P star line. So given the international price, where will the foreign produce? It will produce at the horizontal intercept, which is point A. And given the international price line, where will home produce? It will produce at the vertical intercept, which is point B. That means basically we are witnessing a kind of situation of complete specialization over here. So that means our conclusion is home produces and exports only X2, and foreign produces and exports only X1. If you look at the options that are given, that the home country will export good to, so that's option B. The home country will export good to, and the foreign country will export good 1. So that is your option B over here. Okay, thank you.